which will leave a massive surplus amount available to be claimed. See, most people think after a house goes under foreclosure, there's nothing they can do. The house is lost to the bank or the government, sells it, and they take all the money, right? Well, wrong. Exactly because of that. Because people think that way, according to Forbes, CNBC, Good Morning America, and other big media outlets, there are billions of dollars sitting in these unclaimed funds. If you're wondering how something like this is even possible, how can they do that? It's not their money, right? Well, there's a big reason why banks and governments don't want you to know this. Let me show you a simple example so you understand how mind-boggling this is. Let's say $150,000 is lost. Homeowners were paying their taxes and mortgage payments diligently for years, even decades in some cases. But then when they couldn't afford to pay the mortgage for a few months, the money they owed piled up to $30,000. And trust me, when that happens, the bank and government, they'll be the first ones knocking on your door. They come in like a SWAT team, throw out the family on the streets, and take over the property. Now, in order to get their money ASAP, the banks and governments will sell any property at a huge discount without blinking. They don't care. They simply want their money. So in this case, they will list a $150,000 house for sale for about $100,000. This will sell the house super fast. No wonder, right? And then they will take what's theirs. In this case, $30,000. But what happens with the surplus money? $100,000 minus $30,000, there's $70,000 left, right? Well, nothing happens. That money sits in their funds until, depending on the state where the foreclosure happened, they get to keep it for themselves. If no one calls to claim that surplus money, the banks and the government get to keep 100% of that money for themselves. What do you think? When they're not obligated by law to let anyone know about it, do you think they're going to be sitting behind the phone calling 3,000 people who lost their homes yesterday, the day before, and those 3,000 people that lost their homes today? Do you think they are calling them to let them know about the money that could change these people's lives when they can just sit passively by and keep all of that money to themselves? When I first learned about this from Bill, I was awestruck. How is something like this even possible? People have all the legal rights to that money. Why would banks and governments keep it? That's when Bill showed me how I can be the one to help people who had the misfortune of losing their home, claim their money, and how I can earn 30 to 40% commissions for helping them get their money that's theirs. Crazy, right? Before he showed me how it's done, my internet skills were at the level of barely being able to read the news, and my phone skills were all about taking photos of my grandkids. I had no idea you could run a business on your phone. And today, for every check I cash in, I personally helped one American family move off the streets. Isn't that something to talk about? The purpose behind the business, the purpose that keeps you going through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Honestly, I was lucky I ran into Bill. He was famous in this business for closing his first deal in the first week of starting. So after I had my initial success collecting a few of these inside the mail, we decided to teach Andrew. He's about my son's age. What he did was even better than what we were doing. He brought his dad along. They didn't really have the best relationship or history behind them, but this business brought them closer to each other than ever before. Andrew was handling the lead list and the paperwork, and his dad was talking to the people on the phone. They were the perfect 1-2 combo. The steps you need to operate this business at full speed are simple and straightforward, so much that people question the reality of it. You basically have 3 things you need to do repeatedly to ensure success. Number 1, you need a list of leads. You have publicly available websites where you can find these. Basically, you have one website per county. So for 47 states, there are 3 states you cannot do this because they simply take the money for themselves immediately. So for 47 states, You have over 3,000 websites where you can find people and the properties that were lost after the mortgage and the tax foreclosures. With 3,000 new foreclosures happening every day, it's pretty safe to say that the lead source is inexhaustible, especially when you know we had students helping people claim their money all the way back from 2014. So you need a list of leads where there's surplus money or what we call leftover money. Then you need to call them and let them know, hey, I found $83,769 in your name sitting in government unclaimed funds, and I can help you get that money transferred to your bank account. You don't need to do anything or send me any money up front. Just sign a contract and I'll do all the work. In case I fail to get you the money transferred to your personal bank account, you don't owe me anything. However, when that money hits your bank account, which it will, all I'm asking for is a small 30% commission of whatever gets transferred to you. The number of yeses you'll be hearing after proposing something like this is mind-blowing. Let me show you a clip of Barry, one of our rock star students, being yelled at before he told the lady how much money he'll be sending her.
2 of the deals I closed was where people called me back. And one of them was a lady yelling at me because
that's the best. That's my favorite.
This was so great. This lady called me back from a number that I didn't have saved in my system and didn't leave a voicemail. The voicemail was just and then a click. And so I called it back. And I said, hey, this is Barry from my company's name. I said, I saw we had a missed call from you. Were you calling about your property refund? And she said, she just started yelling at me. She said, I want you to stop calling everybody around me. You don't know nothing. You're just working off of some list. I said, yeah. I said, I bet you've been getting a lot of calls. I bet this has been frustrating for you. And just agreeing with her. And even with that, getting on her side. And she said, I want you to take me off of all your lists and take everybody that that all these people you've been calling it around me. You haven't been calling me, because if you knew anything, you would be calling me. You wouldn't be calling all these people. And I said, well, yeah, you're right. I said, we got limited information. I said, so if you would like to, if you can give me your name, I can look up your account in our system and I can make that note for you. She said, I'm not going to give you my name. Well, I said, if I don't have that, I'm really not going to be able to notify the rest of the team to stop contacting you because we don't know who you are. And she said, well, I'll give you an address. So I type her address in the system, and the first thing I look at is the surplus. And I said, ma'am, do you realize you have $138,000 coming to you? And she paused, and then the conversation just kind of shifted. She was still angry. Well, I ended up sending her the CFA that night, and she signed it the next day.
The thing is about this business, you're not selling anything. You're simply helping people get their money. They don't know it even exists, and you're doing it for free. So after that, step 3 is to call the bank or the government and ask them to release the funds. And from our example here, your commission would be 30% of $83,769, which is $25,130. Not a bad payday, right? The fact is, there is simply too many foreclosures happening, and every day we cannot do it alone. According to the FDIC, it is hovering between 1,000 and 3,000 per day. That's almost 100,000 homes a month. We need an army of people to cover just 5% of the market. Listen, the number of people who know about this is minuscule, and the number of people who know how to do it and the steps to help others to live the life of a top 500 company CEO is even smaller. This is your chance to take 30, 60, or 90-day vacations. Because guess what? This business works from a treehouse. It works from Aspen. It works from the Bahamas. Take your phone and your laptop, and you will never be tied to a single location in your life. Imagine paying $10,000 for a vacation and making a $25,130 check while there. Imagine putting down a down payment on your spouse's dream home from one check. With the help of Bill, I put together a training that will show you everything I tried to teach you inside this short ad. You can access it by tapping the button in the video. We don't ask for your email address in order to watch it, so it'll play automatically as soon as you tap the button. If you've missed all the big opportunities in the last few decades, like .com, crypto craze, etc., your 5 minutes have come. Take advantage of it, but please hurry, because there are states where all the deals are getting in the door after just a few months after being available. So go ahead, watch the training right now and start helping others get what belongs to them. Because remember, for every check you cash, you helped an American family move off the streets.
This program has changed my life.
That first deal I closed was for $39,000.
The surplus is $12,000.
I did exactly what you said and sent it over there and got it signed.
So would I recommend the Foreclosure Academy? Absolutely, 100% I would.
I'm very glad that I did, because the course is actually more than I thought it would be.
This is the proof that you can help homeowners in need and make more than your full-time job while working part-time. These people and thousands more are cashing in on these booming foreclosures because of the recent job cuts and inflation. It's a fact. There are more and more foreclosures happening now more than ever, and it's only going to get worse. According to the FDIC, a government organization, over 3,000 foreclosures daily, and it's only going to get worse. Let's say someone didn't pay taxes for 3 years, which amounts to roughly $32,000 in back taxes and penalties on a $250,000 property. The property goes to auction, and an investor steals it for $150,000. With me so far? The government uses $32,000 to pay off the tax due, leaving an excess of $118,000. So what happens to all that extra money of $118,000? Want to know what happens to it? The government is hoarding it. But it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the homeowner who paid the mortgage for years before he could not pay it. There's where you come in. We have a list of thousands of homeowners. Here's a list of 1,137 homeowners that we got just last week alone. We don't have time to do it all alone. That's where we need your help. We have homeowner lists like this with the name of the homeowners and their contact info. Linda here from State Street has over $78,000 in excess money. Rachel here from Ohio has over $66,000 in excess money. And many more homeowners with thousands of dollars that one can claim with a simple letter and a phone call. You can help these homeowners like Linda, Rachel, John, Mike, and get paid 30 to 40% of what you claim. So in the above example at $118,000, at 30%, you would make $35,400. If you would claim $78,000 at 30%, you would make $23,400. If you would claim $66,000 at 30%, you would make $19,800. All you have to do is just call these homeowners and let them know that they have money that belongs to them. They will be more than happy to work with you. These people are desperate. They just went through foreclosures, for God's sake. They need help. Now, one might say, why would they not do it themselves? Well, they would, if they knew first that they had the money left over. Let's be honest, the government is passive. No one is telling them that they have money left over that belongs to them. If they knew, they would have claimed already, wouldn't they? Look at this. Excess money unclaimed from 2014. Why would there be one from 2014 for $48,990? You get the point. Second, they don't know how to do it. How would you know it? They just went through foreclosures. They have lots of stuff going on in their life. The last thing they want is more stuff added to their to-do list. Like I said, the government is passive, and they need to figure out their life and what they're going to do next. When we call them, they are delighted to hear from us. The best part, we only get paid if we were to claim the money, so there's no risk to them. And if you get the list of homeowners where we get it from, everyone has something left to claim. Your success is almost guaranteed. If you ever wanted a side hustle that you can do from home with a simple phone call, then this is your opportunity. You don't need a good credit score. No need to own real estate. No need to buy real estate. No need for any upfront capital. No buyers, no sellers. No mortgage, no loans, no stocks, no crypto. It's free to do and easy to start with. Okay, Before I give you the exact breakdown of how everything works and show you the 3 steps that we repeatedly do to close deals, let me give you a quick disclaimer. Yes, it's true, not everyone makes money. When they buy a program online, it takes about 40 hours of work before most students get their first success. So if you're not willing to work, you may not make anything. But I will walk you through specific systems that are making us $10,000 to $125,000 per deal. And in some instances, we're closing more than a few of these deals per month. Allows us to work 100% from home, which given everything that's been happening over the last few years is the most amazing thing that could ever happen. And it's giving amazing benefits right now for us personally and for our students. But, as I stated, this is not legal or financial advice. We at Foreclosure Academy are not attorneys or a law firm. We offer no warranties or promises of success. But we're happy to show you exactly what's working for us and our students for free. Just so you know, this is only for people who can read and follow directions. If you can do that, let me tell you, you're going to want to stay until the end. And I'm going to show you our personal lead list that we use right now to make $254,379.28 this month alone. Probably more because we don't just stop with the initial leads that we get. We go after even more, but stay till the end. I'm going to show you that. Now, first things first, this is not about having your own program. This isn't about flipping houses. This isn't about buying homes. There are no investments. There's no need to have credit cards or get loans or all that BS. What makes this different is that you are literally finding these people who have had tax foreclosures, and you're just going to simply connect those people with the money that is left over from their tax foreclosures. And believe it or not, I'm going to show you how and show you why basically 95% of all homeowners, well, I should say previous homeowners, who have gone through a tax foreclosure have not collected this money. And it's pretty obvious once I show it to you. But again, for the average eye, for the average person, they're not going to know about this. And for good reason too. Like I said, this is all going to become very clear, but what I want you to use kind of as this measuring stick is the fact that you can make a lot of money, basically up to $1,000 an hour, sometimes more just by following this system and the steps I'm about to show you. And probably the most important for a lot of people, you don't need investments. You don't have to put in money. This can all be done for free. Yes, that's what makes this different. So let's get into this and how this works. I want you to just pay real close attention, okay? So if you have anything, Skype, Facebook, etc., I want you to close all of it. Now I need you to listen to every step. It is so easy, but you have to listen. So that way you get it and it becomes crystal clear. And then these aha moments are going to be coming through. Are you getting this? I just need you to close out anything else, turn off the phone, and make it silent. I just want you to focus on this for the next less than an hour. We're going to be here for less than 60 minutes, and I'm going to teach you something that will revolutionize your life. So did you know that when properties are sold at foreclosure auctions, there's money that is left over? Money that's owed to the former owner. Okay, but here's the catch. The former owner must know the money is there and ask correctly to claim it. So you're probably wondering, oh, how are they not knowing this? Who are they? Why isn't someone telling them this? Well, here's why 95% of people never collect that money. They don't ask, so they don't get paid. The government is passive in the foreclosure sale, which is 100% true for all the counties. They're the ones who are doing it. Your local county, the government, they're passive on purpose. They never, and I mean never, look for the former owners. Okay, are you listening to me? They're so passive. They never look. And why would they? Here's why the government is passive. If no one claims the money, the government keeps all of it. All of it. Think about that. If you had, say, $20,000, $30,000, and you do not legally have an obligation to reach out to that person who that money is owed, yet after a certain amount of time has passed, it goes into your pocket, what would you probably do? Well, I know a lot of you are probably a lot better than the government, but let's face it, the government has no morals. So this is why they're passive. They don't want people to claim this money. Now, they're not going to stop people, they're not going to stonewall you, but they're not going to go out of their way and make a phone call or even try and reach out or find the former owner to claim that money because they want it all for themselves. Are you getting this? So here's how big this is. Tax Foreclosure Secrets has amazing benefits inside the system. Here's what it has in store for you. 3,000 tax sales per day. And that's according to the DIC. So these are coming right from the horse's mouth, the government, the federal government itself. That means there are even more foreclosure sales than we could even follow up with. That's a lot of clients and very few people in the world who do this. 3,000 per day, okay? At the end of the month, that's 100,000. And at the end of the year, that's a little over 1.2 million foreclosure sales. 1.2 million. $3,000 per day, more than anybody could ever have time to follow up with. So ultimately, that results in a single day, 13.7 million short in collectible funds each and every day that is owed to people. These are the statistics coming right from JP Morgan, which does some of the largest and most foreclosures in the world. So these are some of the biggest foreclosure experts in the USA. They know what they're talking about, okay? 13.7 million in collectible funds every single day. That's 13.7 million that's owed to these former owners. What does that mean for you? Well, 30 to 40% is the average finder's fee. See, you get paid a finder's fee of 30 to 40% by helping these former owners claim their money that they didn't even realize they had. And let me tell you, these people are broke, or they wouldn't have gone into foreclosure. So when you call them, when you reach out to them, mail, email, phone, whatever you do, they're happy to hear from you. This isn't like some other system where you're trying to sell people, where you're pushing them, trying to overcome their objections, trying to get them interested in a business, or trying to give them the benefits. It's literally just money waiting there. All you gotta do is ask, and ask in the right way. And that's what you're helping them do. There's nothing to sell outside of. Do you want all this money that's waiting for you? If so, I'll show you how to get it. So again, $30,000 is the average finder's fee. Think about how much you'll be helping these individuals. Even if you took 40%, 30%, you're getting paid $30,000. That means they're getting paid anywhere from $70,000 to $80,000. These people don't even have $1,000 in the bank. So when you tell them, I can get you $20,000 to $40,000 from your foreclosure, and that is a very, very small amount. I mean, that's way far below average. Usually it's about $50,000 to $60,000. When you tell them you can get them that amount of money, how quick do you think they'll be saying yes? Exactly. Are you getting this? Are you having some aha moments right now? Because that's what you should be having when you see these numbers right here. Just amazing, isn't it? Okay, before I walk you through the entire process and how everything works, let me briefly take you back to where it all started. I want you to see that in order to make it in this industry, you don't need nuclear physics, and you don't need any experience, any knowledge about the industry, or any money whatsoever. The only thing you need is the awareness that you're worth more than what you are being paid for right now. And you truly want the freedom of choice, and life without any money worries. Then you know that the only thing you need is to put in the work and follow the steps to make it happen. There's no magic in this business. Get the list of leads, call them, repeat. If you stick to these 2 steps for long enough, there's virtually no chance for you to not be successful in the foreclosure business. And speaking of the 2 steps that lead to practically inevitable success in the foreclosure business, and to prove the point, I want you to meet Mike. Now, we all have life stories, but Mike's story is something else. Mike, like most of us, started in the corporate world, and he was doing okay. Averaging $7,000 to $8,000 a month gave him and his family a decent life. But then things got ugly. Whenever something better appeared for him, he got stabbed in the back, by no one else but his colleagues. Eventually, he got sick of it, quit, and started his own marketing agency. He jumped both feet in, 0 income, and 2 kids to feed. But what he didn't plan for was a divorce, and a reality that was extremely scary. He had to take care of his 2 kids and build a business, all that with 0 personal income. He had his back against the wall, and all odds against him. But despite all the setbacks and misfortune, he did it. It took him 5 years to get a 6-figure income, but from there it was smooth sailing. Well, until he got Google slapped, and they put a hard cap on how many lead gen websites he can build. To make things worse, all of his existing websites were under investigation and at risk of getting shut down. Then, in his words, one day he saw an ad on Facebook that sent him to a webinar, the one you're watching right now. And he joined the Foreclosure Secrets program. He wanted a business model that doesn't have a limited shelf life and that he can be in for years to come. Foreclosure Secrets met that criteria. He powered through the course, printed all the materials in a binder, joined the Facebook group calls, got his questions answered, and in 4 weeks, he closed his first deal. After doing it a couple more times, using the exact steps outlined inside the program, we've done the obvious and contacted him. After we got to know him and hearing his story, we asked him to join the Foreclosure Academy and become one of the coaches inside the program. And today, after months of working together, Mike has become a partner of our company and someone you'll get to know inside the program. In the last 2 years, we've helped a number of students abandon corporate cubicles, quit their jobs, erase all the debt, and create a life of freedom and a life of choice for themselves and their families. Many, like Mike, make $100,000 plus a year easily. And what we are most proud of is that not one student that we know of has gone back to working a 9-to-5 job after their first foreclosure success. And for good reason, too. When you see that you need less time per month to close one $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 deal than you need to spend on your 9-to-5 or any other business model out there, you'll be the one sticking here for quite some time. Can you see how this will change your life? So ultimately, we're going to go through a few secrets. Secret number 1, your first success can earn you up to $10,000 to $125,000 in profits. That's net. Think about that. If you did one deal and you ended up closing $125,000, that's enough as if you were working hardcore as maybe a pharmacist or a doctor, and you were working 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year in a super high stress environment. Honestly, a lot of those professionals will all do overtime. When we have our own business, we know it's not 40 hours a week. We know it's like 60 to 80 hours a week. It's insane. Your first success can earn you anywhere from $10,000 up to $125,000 in profit. I'm going to show you how and break this down for you. Secret number 2, this process is so easy to do. It can be done in less than 30 days from a laptop. So like I said, in this new economically uncertain environment we're in, people are going to end up losing more and more of their jobs. More and more tax foreclosures are going to go through, of course, because people are losing their jobs. They don't have the money, they're getting paid less and less at their jobs, their dollar doesn't go as far as it used to, they don't have enough to pay their bills, etc. You can do this from your laptop and you can get your first success within 30 days. Okay, how amazing is that? If you work the next 30 days and got paid $10,000, I think about 99% of the people watching this workshop right now would raise their hands and say, yeah, that's more than I'm making. And let me tell you, you don't have to put in 40 hours a week to do that, okay? But I want you to realize how easy this process is. This does not require you to be creative, to write copy, run ads, create content, learn how to sell, none of that. This is a step-by-step system anyone can follow and get results with. I'm going to show you the secret and break it down for you. So you get, again, a lot of these light bulbs going off in your head. You're going, aha! Oh my goodness, oh my graciousness, oh my, oh my. Okay, secret number 3. How can anyone do it without being a tax professional or an expert? Yes, you don't need to have any previous experience. You don't need to be able to do all this stuff and know everything. No, it's so simple. As I said, we're going to walk you through, and I'm going to show you in secret number 3 how anyone can do this. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have much or any knowledge about real estate or taxes or any of those. You do not have to go through all the hassle and learn things that normally come with a profession that pays you this much money. You're going to get a shortcut. We've done a lot of things right, but it took a lot of time to find out how to do it. Wouldn't you rather shortcut the hard work and get the easy way? Yeah, exactly. So that's what this is all about. So that's why we've had this public launch for Foreclosure Secrets, okay? And we have had some smashing success with it already in the public realm, not only just our private students. And the good news is, thanks to our private students and the private clientele, we've made this even easier than you could possibly think. You don't need to become a tax professional. Just watch the videos, contact the former owners, sign the paperwork, you're done. We've made it free. Originally, it used to cost about $2,000 to get the leads and the documents and claim the funds. But now we've made the entire process free to do so. Again, you're writing off the backs of all of our hard work, all of our years of research, everything that we've done. And now you get to reap the benefits and the rewards. We've made it quicker too. Within a few years, we learned how to shortcut the process and had many students close their first deal within 100 hours. If you were working a 40-hour work week, that's just 2.5 weeks of work. Now, of course, we want to give you a little bit more time. We want to be reasonable. We're not trying to overinflate anything here. We're trying to give you averages. And really, we're trying to give you below averages. But in 100 hours, many people see their first success. Not only that, but you get to help others. 95%, let me repeat that, 95% of former owners have no idea this money is available to them or how to ask for it. So you're helping people in dire need. You get rich helping others make money. Is that not amazing? And it's not just you giving them an idea or a promise of making money. You are literally putting their check into their hands, and then you get a finder's fee. So secret number 1, your first success can earn you anywhere between $10,000 and $125,000 in profits. Let's break this down, so that way you see how true this is. It's going to be amazing. As I said, you're going to be like, wow. And then when I run through this, I'm going to ask you, are you getting this? I want you to say yes, so let's run the numbers. It sounds good, but now you can see how good this really is. The average deal takes about 10 hours to complete once you get going in the system, once you learn how this works. The average amount to claim is $30,000, some bigger, some smaller, and the average finder's fee is 30%. Okay, so what I mean by the amount to claim is the amount that you will make, the average that you will claim. But even saying that the average deal will earn you $10,000, and this is a real low estimate because the average home goes for $220,000, and almost all these homes have been fully paid off. But even saying that, the average deal will earn you $10,000, and this is a real low estimate because the average home goes for $220,000, and almost all these homes have been fully paid off. So imagine that, $200,000, okay? We'll run through those numbers, but the average deal netting you $10,000 for 10 hours of work, that's $1,000 an hour. And again, 95% of these former owners have no idea this money is available or how to even ask for it. So the tax sales sell most homes for 70% of their value. Let's take a real lowball estimate because like I said, I'm about averages. But I'm even about below averages, giving you real good room to understand how insanely valuable this information is. So if you have a $100,000 home, that home will sell for $70,000. Like I said, $200,000 is the average home value across the United States. Some more, some less. $200,000 is the average. But we're going really low. The average is 3 to 5 years of back taxes, but let's go way higher because most never make it. I would say 90% never make it past 5 years. The local county government is already foreclosing on them after 5 years of back taxes. But let's say the highest amount, 5 years, the average sales or back tax is 2% per year. So that equals 10% of the home's value. So for a $100,000 home, that's $10,000 owed in back taxes. So the math works out to be that it's sold for $70,000. The county government needs their money, so they're going to take the $10,000 out of that sale. That's why they sold it in the first place. Just to get their $10,000, they'll sell a $100,000 home, no questions asked. What that leaves is over $60,000 left for the former owner to collect. So that gives you a profit of $60,000 times 30%. That's $18,000 in net profits. And again, I'm really lowballing here. If you have a $100,000 home sell for $70,000, they have 5 years in back taxes, which is about the highest amount you can have before the government comes in and kicks you out of your own home. You're still going to have $30,000 or $60,000 left over. Times that by a 30% finder's fee, the lowest amount, 30%. Most of our students go for 40%. But again, I'm here to present you with minimal amounts. That's $18,000 in net profits, $18,000 from one phone call, from one contract signed, from one single success. $18,000 net profits. Taxes are not getting taken out. Income taxes, Social Security taxes, withholdings, all that. That's $18,000 net. Can you see yourself with this? What about mortgages? I know a lot of you are thinking, well, mortgages. Believe it or not, most properties sold at tax sales are 100% free and clear. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but that's what it is. And the few properties that do have mortgages, we just avoid them. You want to know how? Here's how. Title companies claim overages that are owed to them immediately. I'm talking within 30 to 60 days, they get their money. They don't hold out. They're like pit bulls for their money. If you owe them just a little bit of money, believe me, they're getting it out of that overage, and they're claiming what's owed to them, and they're getting it immediately. So what do? We only work on properties that are 6 months or older. You could do 90 days or older, but honestly, 6 months or older virtually 100% guarantees that you're only working with overages that are now 100% free and clear. So whatever's left over. And we're going to show you those numbers and show you all those stats. And the government actually tells you and shows you what those numbers are. You just got to ask them. 6 months or older, anything that's beyond that date of 6 months is all money owed to the former owner. Okay? So if they have $100,000 after 6 months, guess what? The title company, has gotten their money. The county government has gotten their money. They've minused everything from that number that's left over. And everything that's there is 30 to 40% yours as a finder's fee. How amazing is that? You can now see how good this really is. You do not need to be in the same state as these people. So say that you live in, the middle of Timbuktu, and you don't really have a lot of homes around you, or the home prices aren't that great. What about California? Especially in LA County, right? Some of those homes are $2, $3, or $5 million, and they still even go into tax foreclosures. So you don't have to be in the same state. You could be in Idaho and helping people in California, in Florida, in all these great states that have amazing homes with high values and high overages. Again, you don't need to be in the same state. You don't have to have money to invest. You're literally just finding these things through the government databases, and we'll show you how. And you just simply call up and find what the overages are on those. And then from there, you contact the owners, meet them with their check, and you get your finder's fee. So you don't need to use credit cards or get loans to perform this, okay? You don't have to have the money to invest. You don't need to put money on your credit cards. So if you're already in debt, do not worry. And you don't have to have any experience. Isn't that amazing? Are you getting like how great this is? Are you getting this? Yeah, exactly. So secret number 2. The process is so easy to do. It can be done in less than 30 days from your laptop. Like I said, amidst everything we've been through in the last few years, and honestly, for the rest of the foreseeable future, being able to work from home is going to be a big benefit. And if we are 100% honest, everybody wants the ability to work from home. Not only do you cut out all that round trip time of traveling to business, being in your car, potentially getting in an accident, and all the horrible things that come with having someone bothering you while you're at work when you're making so little money. And with foreclosures and overages, every minute makes you, honestly, about $50,000 to $100,000. But the idea behind it all is that it can be done simply from home, 100%. You don't have to go in person and meet these former owners to get them to sign the contract. That's what Zoom online meetings are for. And we'll show you how all of this has become digital and how to make it so seamless and easy for them. So we call this the 3-step program for a reason. If you're wondering how easy this process is, it's literally 3 steps. Step 1, get the lead list. The list will show the money you'll make, okay? Step 2, locate and contact the former owner. Honestly, a virtual assistant can do this for you. $10 an hour, or even less, but whatever. You're getting paid $1,000 an hour. What does it matter? Step 3, do an online Zoom meeting and sign the finder's fee agreement. That's it. You're done once you've done that. That's as simple for them as being able to fill out a few pages of paperwork, contacting their local county government, and collecting their check. That's it. And you'll be able to see very quickly after they collect that check, hey, they got it. It's deposited. All right. Send off that finder's fee. And again, legal paperwork that protects you. So that way, it makes sure you get paid as well. That's the end. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. How easy is that? Lead list, contact them, and sign the agreement. That's how easy this is. Is that not the coolest thing ever? The simplest thing ever? Yeah. So again, you can do this everywhere except for 3 states, which do steal the money from tax foreclosures. Okay, that means 47 out of 50 states in the US give money back. Here are the 3 states that do not: New York, Michigan, and Colorado. That's it. Those are the only 3. Basically contact any other state in the entire United States. Alaska, Hawaii, or anywhere else. You're good. But here's the thing. Even if you live in one of these states, you can still do this. We have numerous people and students who are from New York who have done this time and time again. And they're highly successful with it because they don't have to be in person with any of the online agreements, sign online, or meet up via Zoom meeting. And some people do fly out. They have that much money because some of these deals close for $100,000. Wouldn't you fly out all the way from New York to California to close a $100,000 deal? Sure, but you don't have to, and that's the beauty. So you can live in one of these states and still do the process. The only 3 you avoid are these. Don't call anybody because, honestly, they do steal. The counties and the states do steal the tax foreclosure money. They keep it all for themselves, even though by law, it should be owed to the person. It's their money. But again, if it weren't the government doing it, you could bet your bottom dollar that these people, if it was not a government, would be in jail for doing such crimes. But since it is the government, they get away with it. So that's it. Just avoid these 3 states. So secret number 3, so easy. Anyone can do it. No skills needed. Whether you're a stay-at-home parent, unemployed, or professional earning $300 an hour, you can start this program overnight. It's easy to do. Watch the training. It's all in video form. Get your lead list. Contact the former owner. Lock into a legal contract. Done. That's it. There's zero competition, yet anybody can do it. So a lot of you are probably thinking, well, there's a lot of people around these, investors, real estate investors. They don't even care about money generated from these auctions. Amazing. Yes, but that's just how it is. They care more about buying the home and then turning it around and selling it from purchasing it for 60, 70% of the value and then selling it for 80% of the value. Still make a nice penny, right? Less than 1,500 people in the world know about this. Okay, so real tight-knit group. No tax pros because the education system doesn't teach this to them. It doesn't teach them how to do this. So there are no tax professionals, tax attorneys, real estate attorneys, and no real estate professionals. Nobody does this because the education system is set up to dumb us down. Let's face it, I think we all know that even if you go to college, you learn just enough to do what you need to do. But honestly, most people are learning their professional trade in the trade. So the education system is not set up to help us, the common folks. It's set up to help fund the elites. That's really what it does. Because if anyone knew this, they'd be doing it already. And let's face it, they'd be making so much money, they'd be bragging about it, okay? So at the end of the day, you're wondering, who has this worked for in recent years? Well, for people with large amounts of debt, it's helped them pay it off. People with no prior experience, because as you see, you don't really need it. It's just a system. You work it. Professionals wanting more money. Even if you're a doctor, even if you're a lawyer getting paid $300 an hour, would you like to make 3 times more money? That is $1,000 an hour? Yeah, I think everybody here would raise their hands and go, me. Right? Right. Tax and real estate attorneys. Yes, lots of professionals, common folks like you and me, and so many other walks of life. It's worked for so many people because it's so easy of a system. Isn't that great? So like I said, if you stay till the end, then I will show you my lead list. It's going to end up making me a little over $250,000 this month. And that's if I don't feel like getting more leads this month. So I'll probably make even more. But here it is. Alright, I just want you to go over and see number 1. Lead number 1, Julian Rebecca from 1415 Ridge Mill Terrace. She has excess funds of $121,000. Okay, that's just waiting for her down at the county courthouse. All she gotta do is file the right paperwork and claim it, and that's it. And if I were to charge my finder's fee, I would end up getting a little over $48,000 from that one single deal being closed. $48,000. And I know you're wondering, well, these people are probably going to claim it. Well, I want you to look at the tax sales month and year, okay? Literally at the end of the month. So on 12/31/2017, here we are in this year, and they still have not claimed this amount of money. If you had $121,000 waiting for you down at the county courthouse, how quickly would you claim it? I'll tell you, I would set up in a tent, and I would be sleeping outside the county courthouse until they opened up right in the morning. I don't care if it was 3 a.m. in the morning. I would be there, and I'd be walking in the very second that that person puts the key in that door and unlocks it and opens it to the public. If you go down to lead number 8, Transo Centerland, alright, Pinnacle Way. So it's just basically a company that was owning this land, probably leasing it out, etc. That was in 2014. They've gone all these years without claiming that money. You don't think they would claim that money by now if they had known about this process and that money was waiting for them? Absolutely they would have. So all these people are just waiting to be able to pick up those checks, but they don't know that it's there. So once you help them claim that, you collect your finder's fee. And if you just take these 12 leads, if I just did 1 lead a month, I closed 1 deal a month. At the end of the year, not the month, even the end of the year, I just did 1 a month, 12 months in the year, 12 leads, and 12 closes. I would make $250,000. How many of you are going to make $250,000 this year? Exactly. So how amazing would it be to be able to make that $250,000 off of just 12 leads, 12 calls, 12 simple contracts signed and done, and you connect these people with money that's already waiting for them to be collected, and you just point them in the right direction. And that's it. That's how simple this process is. Now, there's even more beyond that, but I just wanted to give you 12 main leads that I'm going to be working on this month. Alright, so there's even more outside of that. Here are a few other ones. So we have Evelyn Vita off of 2245 Limehurst Drive. They have almost $250,000 waiting for them. This is about a, $270,000 property. If I charge my finder's fee, I would make a little over $93,000 from one single deal. Okay? There's so many other leads like this. This isn't just like I'm picking out from the best to the best to the best to the best. These are just the ones that we happen to do over a week of research. And that we found these are the ones that we want to follow up with. Why? Because it's the same amount of work. If you make $5,000 in your finder's fee, or you make $500,000 from your finder's fee, the same amount of work. Why not get paid more for each one that you do? So inside of these 12 leads right here, and I just close 1 a month. Whether it's Evelyn Vito pay me $93,000, Catherine Hurst pay me $66,000, Linda Lane pay me $64,000, close 1 of these each and every month, 12 months in a year, that's almost $600,000. It's exactly $580,611.27 net profit. Net profit. Think about that. Are you getting this? Are you seeing how amazing this system really is? So again, our time here has been well spent, right? I mean, you're just seeing a lot of cool stuff, but we can't cover everything we need in an hour-long webinar. And even if we had all day, it's just so much information. But I just wanted to kind of show you what is here. So we got a special offer, so you can get everything you need to know. And if you act fast, we're going to give you a special deal, okay? So who wants our help with how to get unlimited leads? What to say to close those leads? How to legally lock in that client? And how to claim the foreclosure funds? And then unlock the hidden money that's waiting to be claimed. Who here wants our help with this? Exactly. Everyone needs this system. So I just want to quickly bring up the old habits that do die hard. It's a true fact, when faced with an opportunity to change, you'll either change or you will repeat the failure. So I'm telling you right now, this is a moment that you have to grab by the horns. You have to take it. You have to run with it. You've been given the football. There's no one on the field. Just run to the end zone. Score that touchdown. Take it in your hands to do this. Have your first success, and realize how much power is involved inside of just connecting people with a check that is already there waiting for them. And just by simply pointing your finger in the right direction, you get paid 30 to 40% of all that money they're going to collect. How great does that sound? Are you getting this? So you have a habit right now that says, well, I do things, and then I pick them up and then I throw them away and I don't really follow through. And now is the time to change. Do not repeat the failures of the past. It is time to grab the bull by the horns, do everything within your power, and make this work, because when you work it, the system works for you, okay? So here's what you're getting inside. Foreclosure Secrets. The Foreclosure Secrets course, number 1. That's a $10,000 value. And that you could pay for with your very first success. But not only that, we're going to give you unlimited foreclosure lead secrets, so that way you don't have to pay the usual $2,000 or $1,000 or whatever it costs just to get access to this. Each state's a little different for lead lists. We'll show you how to get them absolutely free and unlimited amounts of leads. Because like I said, there's 3,000 every single day. That is 100,000 every month. That is a little over 1.2 million leads every single year. And as you've seen, there are leads from almost half a decade ago, a little over half a decade ago still, that can still be followed up on. So I can tell you, there's probably somewhere between 7 to 10 million leads just waiting for you. And there's going to be another 3,000 today, and there's going to be another 3,000 tomorrow, and there's going to be another 3,000 the day after that, and so on and so forth to infinity. And honestly, the worse that this whole economy gets, the more foreclosures are going to happen. And what does that mean? The more money you get to make by helping those in need. So that's a $5,000 value. Not only that, but we're going to give you the best state ranked in order of probability. And that's a $997 value. I know you're wondering, well, I'm just going to go right over to this state I have in mind because they have the most expensive houses. That's not always the best objective. You have to understand that some communities and some areas do have great profitability, but they're not easy to close because of the mindset that you're dealing with. It's the mindset and the profitability factored in together. That makes all the difference, because would you rather spend 20, 30, or 40 hours trying to close one person that'll give you $100,000? Or would you rather spend 10 hours and close someone on $50,000? It's simple. You're going to be able to close a lot more people in a lot less time, which will result in helping a lot more people and making a lot more money. So we're giving you the best states that have been ranked in order of profitability, plus the mentality. That's a big leg up on everything. Not only that, we're going to give you the quick close call script, so you know exactly what to say. I always say, if a toddler can understand what you're giving them, then any adult can get it. And that's the exact way that these call scripts are set up, so that when you are explaining it, even a baby, a toddler, can understand, there's money waiting for me, and all I gotta do is claim it, and this person's gonna help me do it. If you can give that objective to people and have them understand it, they're sold. It's done. Your job is over. There's nothing more that needs to be done. Remember, people are afraid of what they do not understand. When they are afraid, they do not take action. With these call scripts, we're making 100% sure they understand every word we are saying, thus making it easy for them to say yes. That's a $2,997 value, because trying to do this yourself, let's face it, it would take you hundreds, if not thousands of hours. And honestly, you probably need to rewrite it, and you have to be a copywriter, and it's a pain in the behind. So we've done all that hard work for you. Not only that, but also the finder's fee legal paperwork. Once you've done all the hard work of finding those leads, getting them, and contacting them, you want to make sure that they sign a contract that is 100% legally binding, so they don't cash that check and run for the hills. What you're going to end up having is legal paperwork that ironclad locks them in with your finder's fee. That amount is going to be detailed inside the paperwork, so you can come back and guess what? You can even seize their bank accounts if necessary, but it's never gotten to that point. But it gives you that type of power when you have the right legal paperwork. If you had to trust an attorney or a tax attorney, I'll try to draw these things up for you. well, it's probably going to cost you about 10 to 20 hours of their time. And let's just say that they only got paid $300 an hour. Most of them get paid about $500 if they're really good professionals, sometimes $1,000 an hour, so it's easily worth $3,500. Not only that, but we're going to give you unclaimed property law secrets. There are certain laws that you have to work through, and it's not really hard, but it is convoluted. If you have to go jumping from state to state to state, researching every single property law inside the new state that you're working, that's not going to be fun, and it's going to be really time-consuming. Plus, it's going to cost you a lot of money and a lot of energy and willpower. And let me tell you, one time I'll be making a call on the West Coast, and the next call will be on the East Coast, different laws, different property laws. Doing it manually is almost impossible. It's going to slow you down and probably cause you to even think about giving up. So we have a little cheat sheet that has made that easy. Just look it up. And even as you're talking to those people, when you are on the phone, you can figure out this is something I can pursue. It's that simple. Or on the flip side, this is something I may not be able to pursue because of these issues, etc. That's a $1,997 value that saves you a lot of time. Total that is the value of $24,482. By now, light bulb is going off, isn't it? So I just have a lot of people that have money to their name laying around waiting to be claimed, and I can help them get that money by making a few phone calls and getting handsomely rewarded for doing so? Is it okay if I dip into savings or I leverage credit cards and spend money I don't have for this product? And I say, absolutely. This is an investment. This is something where you're not going off and spending your disposable income on movies, an expensive dinner at Ruth Chris, or a great steakhouse. I don't care what you spend your money on, but when you invest it, that's where the money pays dividends because you're investing in yourself. This program is something that absolutely, I say positively, you should leverage credit cards. If you don't have enough money and you need to get a loan, well, okay, if you're really that far off. But I think that many people have enough on their credit cards to leverage this and make it work for them. The point is, just one success in this business can pay off all those loans and credit card debts. And by now, you've seen how easy, how simple, and how doable it is. So even if you don't have the money for this product, yes, spend it. Spend it because it's an investment. It's not disposable income. It's not going away. It's something that you're putting in for a payout later. Think about a stock that you know is going to go up, that you only have to wait 15 or 30 days, and you're going to get all your money back. It would be quite a simple decision, right? That's exactly what you're doing to yourself here. You're investing yourself with something that pays out much, much larger dividends than typical. So you can probably see why this is a good deal at $9,997, right? There's a lot of value offered in it, over $24,000. And honestly, your first deal is going to pay for that $9,997, even the most conservative ones I walked you through. Just 30% on $40,000 overage, and you're done. So I want you to keep that number in your head. Just how amazing is this system going to be? It's really valuable, isn't it? It's really valuable, isn't it? It's easy for you to see how much value this can add to your life, right? Exactly. So for the general public, we charge 50% of that, $4,997. However, because you're here today on this webinar and you're part of this special presentation, we're not going to flip everything on its head. And we're going to give you not 30, not 50, but a 90% discount. Today, we want to give you a one-time start fee of $497. All you have to do is click the button below or sign up. But please, don't get confused. This is not a subscription plan. This isn't anything like one payment, one time, and then we keep charging you for the rest of your life. This is a one-time payment, and you get full, unrestricted access to knowledge that the elites keep from 99.9% of the world, and that the government honestly hates being shared with anyone. You know, what you can also do if you can't afford $497, you can put it on 3 payments of $197, 15 days apart. And you'll have to wait a bit because there is some training and documents that are withheld. And yes, it's a little bit more, but ultimately we want to make sure that we get our payments as well. We don't want people just simply running away. We want a commitment. So there's a little bit of wait time, but you can get started right from day one. Get going and start making your leads and making your calls. That's how amazing this can be. But I know that's not enough for some people. To be honest, it's much easier when you can outsource those calls and have someone else do it for you. That's why we have a bonus virtual assistant outsource secrets. So what this does is allow you to delegate a lot of the grunt work. If you need to put 10 hours in before the deal is closed, 8 out of those 10 hours can be outsourced. The other 2 hours are just basically getting a hold of those people. The virtual assistant sets up all of the appointments for you, and then all you do is you meet in a Zoom online meeting and have them sign a contract. You discuss what the deal is, how it works, etc. That's it. That's 2 out of the 10 hours. The other 8 can be outsourced. So, bonus number 1 is Virtual Assistant Outsource Secrets. That's a $3,997 value only for the first 100 people who sign up. That's why you need to buy now. Click the button below immediately if you want this bonus. The reality is, we're advertising this webinar a lot. We have partners promoting it, and those 100 spots fill up real quick. So if you want us to give you access to VAs that can take care of 80% of the work, tap the button right below and sign up now for this program. Now, if you want bonus number 2, you better act even faster, because you can close 800% more people with our auto dialer instead of having to dial on the phone. And whether you use your virtual assistant or you do it yourself, this auto dialer is free for you to use. And once you start getting more and more, of course, you can speed up that auto dialer with a payment plan. But the payments are honestly, I don't know, like $40 to $50 a month. Something that's just so small, but the auto dialer will allow you to connect with an insane amount of numbers. You can end up calling about 100 people in an hour. If you try to do that by hand, you could probably only get about 15-20 calls, and anybody who's done dialing by hand knows that's a fact. The math is simple. We both get on the phone, you call 800 people in 8 hours, and I end up calling 80. Who's going to be more successful? Obvious, right? Okay, so bonus number 2. Close 800% more with our auto dial. It's a $997 value only for the first 50 people. That's why you need to click the button below right now and get inside. To be honest, I'm not sure, but it might be that this bonus is already off the table. Okay, bonus number 3. A done-for-you professional website. That's a $2,497 value. If you've ever had someone try and build an actual professional website, not one of those, fly-by-the-night websites that you can get on maybe Fiverr.com for like $500, but a professional website that looks good, so that when people ask, who are you? Can I get some more information? Can I learn more about what the process is? This bonus is only for 25 people, okay? 25 people only, so you need to act fast. We will create a done-for-you website. All you have to do is follow the directions, and that's it. And all the website workaround will take you less than, I would say, about 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes away from having your own professional website that you can point people to that does pre-selling for you and position you as an authority in the field. So even if they don't really want to talk on the phone, they don't want to talk by mail, they don't want to talk by email, they can do a little research on you, see your professional website, see what you do, and understand the process and to pre-sales them so that you do less work. That's a $2,497 value very easily. It's probably about $5,000, but again, I'm like really going lower than the averages. I like going and giving you the smallest things, so that way you can understand how much value we're giving you. Amazing, isn't it? So let me go over this again. What you are getting is Foreclosure Secrets. That's a $10,000 value, right? $9,997. You already saw in your first deal you would end up paying for that. Not only that, but you're going to get unlimited foreclosure leads and secrets, which shows you how to get what essentially equates to 5+ million leads, and 1.2 million added leads every single year. 3,000 leads are updated today, 3,000 new leads tomorrow, and 3,000 more leads the next day after that. You're going to be able to access all of that. See the numbers, see the overages, see what you'll get paid, all of that. It's virtually unlimited for a $4,997 value. Then you're also going to get the best states ranked in order of profitability. As I said, it's not just about getting where the biggest homes are and the biggest lead values. It's about having the right mentality as well. So you're not spending as much time with certain mentality types. I think we all have a specific state or maybe two in mind where it's like, I don't want to deal with those types of people. Well, we agree. Those types of people are very hard to work with. That's why we have it ranked in order of profitability, plus the mentality. That's a $997 value. Plus, we'll also give you the quick close call script. Again, if you can have a toddler understand that there's a check waiting for them, and all they have to do is simply make the decision to sign the contract, and the check is theirs, I think even an adult will understand that as well and say yes to you. That's a $2,997 value. Not only that, but we also have the finder's fee legal paperwork. That's a $3,497 value. This locks the people in, so that even if they take that money and they said, I don't feel like paying you, that was too easy. Well, guess what? Within a few days, you can file that paperwork in court. And then the judge is automatically going to end up saying, yep, we see all the proof, the evidence, the legal paperwork you signed. It's absolutely ironclad. You're going to have to pay your assets frozen today. And their bank's completely frozen. And now you'll get all your money, which usually takes about another week or two to get withdrawn, deposited into your bank, and then they get their bank unfrozen. So again, with all this paperwork, we've never really had that happen before where someone's tried to run. But if it ever did happen, you want to make sure that you're covered and 100% protected, right? That's what this paperwork does. That's a $3,497 value. If you ended up paying a tax attorney or any other type of attorney to draw out this paperwork for you, they would charge you about 10 to 20 hours of work at $300 an hour. That's pretty obvious what that's worth. Unclaimed property law secrets. Again, each state is different from state to state. One time I'll call someone on the East Coast, another time they call me on the West Coast. Different states have different laws. This little cheat sheet will help you make sure that you don't get confused. And even as you're on the phone, you can double check and talk with the previous owner to make sure that they can claim all their property that's owed to them. That's a $1,997 value. Probably invaluable, but we like to keep things simple and reasonable. And on top of all that, you have fast action bonuses. Number 1, first 100 people only. This is why you need to work and go fast. Virtual assistant outsource secrets. That's a $3,997 value. The average deal takes about 10 hours to close. Once you get that process set up and going, it's about 10 hours on average per deal. Now your first deal is going to take a little longer, right? You're a greenhorn. You're just getting started. You got to get the ropes, but 80% of your hours can be outsourced. That's what this entire bonus is about. So that's a huge value and should probably be worth more, but that's how we valued it. So that way it seems reasonable. We like to put very reasonable values on all these things. Foreclosure secrets by itself should be worth probably about $100,000. But hey, bonus number 2, only for the first 50 people. You can close 800% more with our auto dialer. That's a $997 value. If you've ever dialed a single number by hand, just try it and time it out. It takes you about, especially if you're looking at it and it's a new number that you don't know by heart, it takes about 15 to 25 seconds. Then you take in having to ring for about, 6-7 rings. Guess what? That adds up very quick. And it takes a couple minutes just to get all that done. You're getting usually about 15 to 20 dials in a single hour. You can end up dialing 100 numbers in an hour with our auto dialer bonus. It is a 5 times more chance for success. Simple as that. Number 3, only for the first 25 people. Done for you professional website. It's a $2,497 value. If people are ever wondering, what is this? What are you doing? Do you have a website? Can I learn more? Absolutely. You can send them right to this and feel like a professional from the day one. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to set everything up, and it will help you avoid all the unnecessary explanations. Who are you? What do you do? For how long? Etc. Your own professional website will do all the talking for you and position you as an authority. That's a total value of $31,973. Click the button below, get started right now. This is absolutely going to blow you away. You guys, are you getting this? Are you getting how much value is inside of this right now for $497? That's one single payment of $497. So again, I'm going to talk about disposable income, $1,000 in a single month. Most people end up spending that easily, especially if you have a spouse or you have kids. You can add that all to it, go to the movies. If you're getting a ticket for you, your spouse, and the kid, well, guess what? That's about $50. Plus you go and get some popcorn, some snacks, easily another $50. You just spent $100. If you go to the movies 2-3 times in a month, that's about $300 right there. You eat out a couple times. Every time you eat each plate at the average restaurant is going to cost you about $20. Okay? So, you go to eat 10 times in a month and you're eating for 2 or 3 people. There's another $600. Well, guess what? Just the movies and eating out, that's $1,000 disposable income. This is not about disposing your income. This is about investing your money into yourself so it pays out dividends. Remember how I talked about the stock market? If you knew a stock was going up 15, 30 days from now, and it was going to pay you everything back, wouldn't you invest in it? Absolutely, right? That's the exact same scenario you're in right now. Aren't you excited about this? So how much is it worth if you closed one deal a year? $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 or more probably? You've seen some of those. What if you could just close one deal a month? Like I was showing you those 12 leads. Do you think you could grow faster personally, financially, and in life? Yeah. There are some light bulbs going off in your head. How amazing life can be, even in this world, with massive economic and political uncertainty. You don't need to leave your house to make this work. You can do all of this online, and you can make more than what the majority of jobs out there can make you combined. How amazing is that? So here's part of our 3-part, 30-day crazy guarantee. Okay, unlimited leads. If you can't figure out how to get more leads to follow up with, let us know. We'll show you where to get more. We'll help you through it. If you can't see how to do something with the Tax Foreclosure Secrets program, we'll show you the next step to take and the legal paperwork. If you ever have to go to court to claim your money from a client, we'll show you what to do to win your case and get paid. How amazing is that? We're backing you up, making sure you get all the way to the finish line and collecting your check. That's our crazy 3-part guarantee. So the guarantee works like this. Okay? If this doesn't do everything we talked about in this webinar, how to get leads, how to legally bind the clients, and legally get paid, simply show us where it failed. We'll return every penny, no questions asked. To put it simply, if you follow the steps we're about to show you, this works. That's why we're making this guarantee. Now you have two choices. First option, you can do nothing, not take the leap of faith, even though it's 100% risk-free. And when you say no to this, it's like you're saying no to the financial freedom, to the freedom of choice. Just imagine waking up 3 to 4 weeks from today, seeing a $20,000 to $30,000 check in your mailbox. Imagine how you would feel calling your boss and quitting your job. Just imagine how it'd be to stop wasting half your life on 9 to 5 jobs. When you say no to this, you're saying no to spending more time with your kids, your family, and friends. You're saying no to traveling, to multiple vacations, to living life on your own terms, whatever that may be for you. Unlike 99% of the opportunities out there, this is not about having special skills to be successful. This is not about becoming a copywriter or media buyer, reading books, and watching courses for the next 6 months before you can earn your first dime. This is not about assembling a team, hiring people, hunting clients, selling them something they don't want to buy. This is a follow A, B, and C, and the results are practically guaranteed. And with that, you have the second option. You can make a small investment today compared to all the value you'll get and give it a shot. If it works, great. And if not, ask for your money back and you'll get it. It's that simple. And again, the only way to make this not work is to do absolutely nothing with the materials we'll be sending your way. To make this not work, you'd have to call no people, offer no help, sign no agreements, basically sit back and do nothing. And if you put in just 10% of the 2 to 3 hours a day we recommend, there's close to 0% chance you won't be successful with this. Just see yourself as the man or woman on the other side of the phone. Imagine me calling you and saying, "Good day, sir. We are from XYZ, and we found there are $70,000 to your name in government offices waiting to be claimed. It looks like there's a few months window before the government seals that money in their vault. After that, there's nothing anyone can do. But right now, there's a good chance we can get that money for you. We just need your blessing, and we can proceed. If/when we transfer that money to your bank account, you'll send us a legal finder's fee of 30%. Again, that's only after you have that money in your bank account. You interested?" See, how do you feel? It's an instant, hell yeah, I'm interested. That's exactly how easy it is to sell this service, and how easy it is to make money. And that's the reason why I keep saying that the only way for this to not work is if you do absolutely nothing. So again, let me go through what you're getting. I'm going to run through this very quickly. Tax foreclosure secrets, that's a $10,000 value. Unlimited foreclosure lead secrets, that's a $5,000 value. Best states ranked in order of profitability, that's a $1,000 value. Quick close call script secrets, that's a $3,000 value. All these things get you to the finish line, including the finder's fee and legal paperwork. So we're going to handhold you all the way to the end with this system. How to get the leads, where to start, and in which state. A script, so you don't even have to think about what you say. You just read. And then the legal finder's fee paperwork. All that, plus unclaimed property law secrets. It's our little cheat sheet, so you know what works, what doesn't when certain overages aren't allowed to be paid out, etc. Bonus number 1, virtual assistant outsource secrets. You can outsource 80% of this work. How amazing does that sound? Outsourcing 80% of your work. If you've ever heard of the 4-hour work week, then this would be it, except the 4-hour work week was, you had to come up with a brilliant idea, and you had to do a million other things. Not this. This is way easier. This is a proven step-by-step process that requires zero creativity, ideas, and acquirement of new skills. Simply follow the process and get results. That's it. Okay, the bonus number 2. Close 800% more with our auto dialer. You can call up to 100 numbers in a single hour. If you got 2 assistants, that's 200 calls an hour. 3 virtual assistants, 300 calls an hour. It just grows exponentially. Compare that to someone who's dialing by hand, maxing out at 20 calls per day. End of the day, they're at 160 calls completely drained. And you are at 800 calls with just 1 assistant. The difference in results is uncomparable. Bonus number 3, a done-for-you professional website. That's a $2,500 value. This is your business card in today's world. A professionally built website positions you as an authority, makes people trust you, respect, and be grateful that you contacted them and offered your help. To put it like this, without a professional website, everything becomes 5 times more hassle. Total value of everything you're getting is $31,973. All for the one-time payment of $497. That's it. So if you don't sign up already, number 1, you didn't think that you could do it. But now you're probably seeing how this works, how simple it is, because in reality, it comes to this. Can you follow simple steps? If so, you're set. I'm telling you, anybody can do this. Of course, I'm not literally saying anybody can do it, because there are some people out there who don't have intellectual capacity to do it. There are ones who live in counties with no internet and no phone. So for them, this would probably be a waste of time. But my guess is they are probably not here with us today, watching this webinar. I'm telling you that the only reason you couldn't do this is you are lazy as F. And you can still be lazy because you can outsource most of the work. But you still just got to do a little bit of work. Have you ever worked before, ever in your life? If so, you can do this. Reason number 2 you still haven't joined is you're nervous about the process. And I see where that comes from. And I can tell you, it's completely normal to feel nervous. You're jumping into something new and you have no idea what's waiting for you on the other side. That's exactly why we have that guarantee in place. We don't want you to feel like you're getting into something and there's no turning back. And one thing you can rest assured is 100% flawless is our process. We've tested it numerous times ourselves, and we had a couple hundred of our private clients test. Worked every single time with no friction. So there's really no reason to be nervous. We're going to walk you through everything, video training the whole way, give you the scripts, the agreements, the steps, the lead, the counties, everything. We want to make you successful at all costs. And then reason number 3, you think it's too expensive. If you think it's too expensive, this might not be for you. Because if you feel one-time payment of $497 is too expensive for a system like this, you're probably focused on the investment cost and you're missing what's going to happen 3 to 4 weeks from today when you close your first deal. Or you weren't listening to the numbers we ran. You didn't see the $250,000 from 12 leads and 12 people closing the contract. In fact, if you just closed one of those people, one of them was $90,000, a $497 for $90,000, you tell me what's expensive. So again, there's nothing special about me. Anyone can do this. What's special is the program, the system, and the step-by-step process. If I can do this, you can do this. Having doubts is normal, but this process has been proven by hundreds of students already. Not one of them was a lawyer, attorney, or finished any fancy schools, at least not to our knowledge. This is about the process, not about IQ and good genes. Just compare the time you're wasting on your 9 to 5 to what you can make by closing one single deal, an entire year with a 9 to 5 job at $10 an hour. Hell, even with $100 an hour, you can still make more with foreclosure secrets and just a few leads. You can spend countless hours trying to do it the hard way, but why not shortcut everything? Why not shortcut your financial freedom, and even more important, your freedom of choice? So if you still have questions, message us at 1-980-324-3422 and leave a detailed message. One of our foreclosure experts will get back to you in less than 24 hours. Now I'm telling you, you have to leave a detailed message with your exact questions. We ask this because we get hundreds of messages. So if there's not enough information, then it would take up a lot of our time. And let me tell you, our time's worth a lot of money. As you can see, $1,000 an hour, sometimes more. So again, we only want people who are serious. That's it, okay? We want serious people. We don't deal with just tire kickers, okay? But if you're ready to get started right now, it's just $497 one time. You tap the button below and get started right now, okay? So what I want to do is just let the video kind of run itself out, show you other people who have used the system and had success with it, and the amount of success that they have had. It's quite amazing at the end of the day. $497 is your entrance fee for numbers like this. How amazing is this? How incredible. $98,000, $7,000, all these things, every state, everywhere that you live, no matter where you live. In fact, you don't even have to be in the United States of America, and this system still works. It's all about the simple things in life. And let me tell you, there is a lot that is complicated, but this system is not one of those things. It's so simple. It just takes action. It takes someone who is ready to move, to do the work, to put in the time, not even a lot of time. The question is that you? Are you willing to put in the work and collect checks week after week? Because that's what's on the line here. If you say, no, I don't think this will work for me, then you're saying no to all these checks here. Look at these numbers. Look at them just rolling by. These are numbers that can be deposited into your bank account with your first deal closed. Your first deal closed. But if you don't take action today, if you still think this isn't for you, then you're saying no to a 6-figure income from home that's, as you've seen by now, easily attainable. You're saying no to more downtime to spend the way you want, to a predictable income stream that you can outsource, to helping people collect what's legally theirs, to becoming a Robin Hood for people, to all these great things. By saying no today, You're saying no to all that and a shot at a better life for you and for your family. Life that's better than what 95% of working people out there have. Is that not amazing? Are you understanding? Are you getting this right now? Yes. So again, everything that we do is backed up by our guarantee. We want to make sure that you are successful, that you have everything in your hands that you need to become an expert in this arena. And you don't even have to be knowledgeable. But by expert, I mean making a lot of money for a little bit of work. That's what I mean by expert. So we want to see you with your first check. And I just want to make you a promise as you're listening to my words right here, right now, that when you get your first check, take a picture of yourself with it. We always have everybody do this. We always have everybody make this promise and oath that when you get your first success, show it off, because showing it off makes you feel good. It makes you want to work more. In fact, we found that when people show off the money they made from their first check, and really every subsequent check, they end up making 5 times more money than people who have had a success and don't show it off. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just that social cue of I'm doing this. I'm actually making this money and I'm showing it off. And I want to continue to prove to people that I'm worth this money, and I know I can continue to do this day in and day out. That I can make what accounts to basically a year's salary for a lot of people in a couple of months or even weeks. If you're just sitting there working a 9 to 5, or you even still have your own business, that's okay. You can run your business and do this as a side hustle. And of course, eventually these side hustles instead of Foreclosure Secrets becomes people's go-to business, and they do it all from home. In fact, if you see every picture that people take with their checks, they're all sitting at their desk at home. All you need is a laptop. Do you have a laptop? You're probably watching this webinar on one. Or even if you have a phone, that's basically a laptop these days. I'm not saying you have to go back out and buy something brand new right now. All I'm saying is that if you're watching this video, you're on some sort of device that can connect to the internet. And that is enough. That's all you need to be successful. Our training, your phone in your hands, or a laptop, and you can cash checks like this. All you have to do is put in a small amount of upfront work and make a commitment. All you have to do is say yes to this. So are you ready? Are you able to take the bull by the horns and make this your life? Because this life pays way more than any other one. Unless you're born into riches and you're baby fed with hundreds of millions of dollars, this is, hands down, the quickest way to make money I've ever witnessed. Again, every walk of life, every person is able to do this. I don't care what you think about yourself. It's all going to fall to the wayside. When you cash that first check, you're going to instantly feel self-validation. You're going to instantly feel pride. You're going to instantly feel gratification like you've honestly never felt. Some people, when they cash that first check, they can't believe it. Even if it's just for $4,000 or $5,000 to $6,000, which is honestly very, very low amounts. But even that amount, that's what most people can make in an entire month or two. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. But our averages tend to be around $15,000 to $30,000. Really, $30,000 is the average overage that most people end up getting. And you don't even have to charge 30 or 40% finder's fee. You can charge 10% and you can still make mucho dinero. It's quite amazing what's possible when you have the right knowledge and the right dedication to doing this. So I want to just simply break down what I mean by dedication. Dedication isn't thousands of hours. Dedication isn't even hundreds of hours. Dedication is 30 days. 30 days. Do you think you have 30 days? And in today's world, everything we do becomes something that becomes harder and harder because of all the economic havoc all over the good old USA. They're going to have more people making less and less at their jobs. They're still going to demand that you make your rent payments, that you make your mortgage payments, that you do everything that's necessary to pay your bills. And the stimulus checks are no more also. We've had a couple, but that's in the past. That's why this is so important. You need to start making your own money from home to make it in this new economy. This is the way that you do it. I don't know what more I can say, but I know I can give you encouragement. And that's why we're here. Every time that you have a question, all you simply have to do is reach out to support, send them an email, and I guarantee within 24 to 48 hours, save weekends and holidays because we have families too, we're going to get back with you. We're going to give you an answer. We're going to give you a solution. We're going to help you through any issues you may have. But this program, this process is so simplified and easy that once you watch the video training, you're going to be blown away at how you can do this with no experience, with no expertise, with no investments, with no credit cards, with no loans, without being in the same state, without leaving your home, without having to even make a phone call. You can have people that you outsource. You can hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork. There's a million websites out there where people are working from home and will do the calls on your behalf. You pay them $10 to $15 an hour. You give them the script. They explain the process, and that's it. They set up meetings for you, and then you meet up with these former owners on Zoom. These days, pretty much everyone has learned how to use Zoom. So it's not going to be something where you have to walk someone through such an inundated process. If they're like, I'm not technically savvy. Okay, can you simply click a link? Okay, if you can click a link, you can download Zoom. And if you download Zoom, it's going to auto start. All you have to do is click a button, type in your name, and you're instantly connected. If they don't even do Zoom, you could do Google Hangouts or Google Meets. Those are instantaneous. They just click on the link, they instantly join. They don't need anything. They don't even need a computer. They can do it right from their phone. And let me tell you, their phone has a microphone. Their phone has a camera. So they can do everything right there instantly. And you can meet up with these people and just like that, close the deal. How amazing is that? So again, I'm just going to shut up now and I'm going to leave the decision for you because I've shown you everything. Remember, one last time, if you say no today, you're saying no to a predictable 6-figure stay-at-home income. You're saying no to complete job security, more free time to enjoy your life, to go to the beach or to the mountains, or just kick back with friends and family. You're saying no to helping ordinary people get what's owed to them, while getting a fat check in the process. Don't miss out on all that. I know you're going to make the right choice today. From the Foreclosure Secrets team, thanks for listening, and we'll see you inside.